And this critical moment of our nation's history, it's essential that there is an educator serving as Secretary of Education. I want to make that clear again. An educator, someone who's taught in the classroom, comes out of the classroom. Today, I'm pleased to announce that such a nominee we have, Dr. Miguel Cardona. Like other cabinet nominees and appointees, he's brilliant, he's qualified, and he's tested. And he's going to join the Biden-Harris cabinet, and it's going to be a historic cabinet. Already, there are more people of color in this cabinet than any cabinet in the history of the United States. There are more women than ever. First openly gay cabinet member. It's a cabinet that looks like America. It taps into the best of America. But we also need someone who knows what it's like, what it takes to get through this crisis. Reopening schools safely will be a national priority for the Biden-Harris administration. Early next year, I will put forward before the Congress our plan as to what comes next. But I assure you it includes funding to keep educators on the job, just like we did during the Recovery Act. It also includes asking Congress to provide funding needed so we can achieve the ambitious but doable goal of safely opening a majority of our schools by the end of our first 100 days.
Mr. President-elect, Madam Vice President-elect, thank you for this opportunity to serve. I know how challenging this year has been for students, for educators, and for parents. I've lived those challenges alongside millions of American families, not only in my role as State Education Commissioner, but as a public school parent and as a former public school classroom teacher. For so many of our schools and far too many of our students, this unprecedented year has piled on crisis after crisis. Though we are beginning to see some light at the end of the tunnel, we also know that this crisis is ongoing, that we will carry its impacts for years to come, and that the problems and inequities that have plagued our educational system since long before COVID will still be with us even after the virus is gone. So it's our responsibility, it's our privilege to take this moment and to do the most American thing imaginable, to forge opportunity out of crisis, to draw on our resolve, our ingenuity, and our tireless optimism as a people. We must embrace the opportunity to reimagine education and build it back better. We must evolve it to meet the needs of our students. There's a saying in Spanish that we say, en la unión está la fuerza. We gain strength from joining together. And I'm grateful for the trust you've placed in me, Mr. President-elect and Madam Vice President-elect. I look forward to getting to work on behalf of America's children and the families and the communities and the nation they will grow up to inherit and lead. Thank you.
We need to get this virus under control and reopen our schools safely, as the President-elect always says. And that is why the President-elect and I are supporting funding for our education system in this recently passed COVID-19 relief legislation. And we will continue to fight for additional emergency relief for our educators and our schools.